With the MP Bros, the MP Bros, the MP Bros, the MP Bros. Learn something.
And 3, 2, 1, we are back. It's so funny because Mike and I just catch up for a little bit. The moment the lights go on, right? Mike, it's shining lights everywhere. Boom,
Right.
boom.
It really looks like that on my screen right now too. It's like there's a spotlight coming through my window.
Yeah, Mike's like in Cancun with the sun like beating
Yeah,
down
yeah.
right
Sunny 40-degree Baltimore.
We gotta up your podcast room vibe over there a little bit. I'm gonna get you some, so you can close that blind, put some palm trees behind you or something. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Everything's good. This has been a great week. In all honesty, this has been the best income week of my entire life.
Best income week as far as like what's been paid out, deposited. That's amazing, dude.
I know.
And I can share some stuff. So like Mike has been having a great Mike consistently has really great weeks. I've had a great week for myself of like where I want to hit and go. And I've been seeing and experiencing that same thing too. It's like it's been just so comforting to have that come in and like it just feels good, right? And then when I'm looking at the issue paid for both of us, I wish I could share on here, but I took a screenshot just before this for issue paid for the month. And the month today is the 7th. So it's only been a couple of days for the month. Brandon Hall is in first place with issue place for the month with 15,000. Number 2, Michael Waranch with 13,900, so just about 14,000. And then I come in at number 3 with 12,700. So like, dude,
the MP Bros, the MP Bros.
You know, it's awesome. And the way that works, in case you don't know, right? Let's just assume that you're getting 100%. Like there's going to be some fluctuation between some companies. Some might be down a couple points. Some might be up a couple of points, right? But it all works out at the end. So you can kind of take that number, divide it by 75%, and that's what the advance is.
Right.
We always explain it this way. Or why don't you explain what's the 75% and how do you get paid on the other 25%?
I mean, that's how I explain the remaining 25% is simply paid out in months 10, 11, and 12 at the end of the first year of the policies staying in place, which is why persistency, which is how many of your policies are staying on the books, which is why that's so important. Because like now that I'm, you've been doing this forever, you're an absolute boss. For me, like I'm really, I'm a year and a half in or something like that. Yeah. And now I'm starting to see these months 10, 11, and 12 pay out. And I'm like, oh, damn, yeah, persistency is really important. You get a couple $100 from like a year ago of the work that you did coming in every day from multiple carriers and multiple people. And that stuff adds up, man.
Dude, so just painting the picture for individuals, right? Like Mike's goal is like 20-something a week, right? My goal is like 15K a week. We want to make sure we do that. But as we do every single month, let's just say that client is paying $100 each month, right? If you do every single month, that's 12 months. 75% of 12 months, it's 9 months. So you literally get a 9-month advance, right? You're getting, if it's $100 a month, you're getting $900 up front. Then the rest is a trail. Month 10, month 11, month 12. Each one of those is $100 check, right? That's coming to you for one of those. So now think of it this way. Let's say Mike, he does above his goal, but he does at least 10,000 every week that he's done, right? That's 40K for the month. 75% of 40K, 30K, super easy. Let a year go by, right? Once that year goes by, you have now, as long as you've been consistent in your sales, as long as you showed up for work when you say you're going to show up for work, you just gave yourself a base salary.
Exactly.
Check that out, right? So now that extra 25% paid out exactly after 1 year, and if you're doing 40K a month and it stays on the book, that's $10,000 coming to you for the work that you did last year, right? The 10K is not bad. And let's change the numbers up. You do $4,000 consistently, that's $1,000 coming in for you a month, $8,200 and so on. But that's just to give you a good basis of like what it's going to look like. Let's say 20% of them fall off. But as long as you're keeping your consistency, that's still 8 grand. I don't know if you know this, but 8 grand a month is the sauce to get you to 100K for the year. There's your base salary. Like, don't be afraid. Take the dive, go hard. 1-2 years, build your team. It's amazing, man. What do we say that we're gonna be focusing on today? Because I think we're kind of diving into it already.
Yeah, culture, man. Culture conquers all. And I think that we're very blessed and in a unique situation where we have, like, Unitrust as a whole, I think, has a great culture. You know what I mean? We're lucky to be a part of that. But within Unitrust, there's teams, right? Of course, we're part of Chris and Grayson's team, and they're phenomenal leaders. But we all have really worked hard, I think, to create a culture that is filled with support, cheerleading, leadership, help, resources. Like, we're in a very unique situation where, like, something that I know we were just talking about, whereas especially for newer agents, right? We now have top producers and our team is riddled with top producers. It's ridiculous.
I was going to jump in and say that it's unbelievable, the talent that Grayson and Chris have been able to put in one team.
Yeah.
And just now, what we're doing with that talent, it's really like stepping up. But
that's exactly what I was going to say, is now we've created this culture where we're all live dialing, right? All the top producers are live dialing. So as a new agent or even a veteran agent that might just be struggling and trying to tweak some things, you can listen in to other top producers running live appointments, right? So, like, that is a very unique opportunity to be able to hear someone else run live appointments and kind of allow and also allow them to be able to share with you, like, after, here's why I said this, here's what they were saying. And, like, we're just here to help each other. And I don't know many other industries, many other companies, many other teams that are that kind of open and willing to be able to help each other achieve success.
Yeah.
Very unique.
It's so cool, right? And I was going to tell you, like, I've had a great week, and in the last couple of days, like, you started going live with your calls. But to me, it was cool to see we're really not doing much different, right? What's great about Mike is that he has such consistency in his pace. Every single conversation, everything is pretty much being delivered just about the same, right? Yep. Like, this is exactly what I say for every single little piece. He just knows it. He's got it so memorized. He goes through it properly. It lands. It's received. And you can tell Mike, when he's dialing, he's got the client in the ear. So we don't really listen to the client. When I dial, I'll put them on speaker so that both of you guys can hear both sides. But then when it comes to, like, pertinent information, then I'll mute out and make sure that, social, houses, all health stuff, that you guys don't hear that part. But doesn't matter. You hear the pitch, you hear the tonality, you hear exactly what he's doing and what I'm doing. And then you're like, well, I can see why he does so good. And I think it comes down to one thing, bro. I think it comes down to confidence, right? Maybe for you and I, it comes down to confidence because, like, we're pretty strong with our delivery.
Yeah.
But we also have other people in the team that are just different characters, right? Like, if we're A's, they're also alphas in their own way, but they're just more soft-spoken.
Right.
And they still slay. Like, they're doing great.
I think it's two things, right? Because the confidence, like you said, I think is a massively, massively important piece of it. But I think the second piece of it is belief, right? Is that we believe in these products. I believe in mortgage protection, whether it's critical period, half protection, or full protection of the mortgage. I believe that this is something that every person who has a mortgage or a line of credit needs to have. Like, I really believe that. And because I believe that, it comes through that they will then believe it because I feel so passionately about it.
I'm going to blow your mind right now. So I was born in Peru, right? And I was having this conversation with my mom about mortgage protection. And she's like, you know what's crazy? In Peru, and then I was talking to other customers, like just Latin people, and they're like, in our countries, it's like this. At the moment you buy a house, the bank makes you take out an insurance policy for your life against the debt, but it comes to you and it becomes your property. They're just making sure that it gets paid out. Right here, US, a little bit different, greatest country of all times, but still a little bit different. They'll put MPI that protects the bank but doesn't protect you. right? It's crazy. But it blew my mind, right? So like imagine if every person had to get an insurance policy of some kind, it would just, oh my God, this industry would blow up. Maybe jump in before that happens because you'll be so ready.
But you know, can I want to switch topics just real quickly, all right, if you
Yeah.
don't mind. And I think this is kind of important too. So you just had and are I mean, it's Friday, so we're not done the week yet, but you have had a fantastic week. This is the best week you've had in a while from what I've seen. You are exceeding your goals, right? Now, I think that at least I know how I am, that when I am not selling policies, when I'm not protecting families, when I'm not achieving my goals, I'm really good at beating myself up about it, right? About what did I do wrong? Where did I screw up? Why am I not doing this well enough? Am I not doing this? Am I not enough? Like whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But conversely, are we doing the same at the opposite end, right? You've had a phenomenal week this week. Have you taken any time to acknowledge yourself, to celebrate yourself and be like, damn, look what I've been able to achieve this week? Have you taken any time to do that? Because I would bet you that you haven't, because I know I struggle with that. Have you taken time any time to acknowledge that? Because it's been a fantastic week and you've been working hard towards this.
So I can say no, but I can say yes. And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just another day, right? Tomorrow's going to be Saturday. The next is going to be Sunday. The sun's going to come up. And if God gives me grace, I'm going to be awake to be able to experience that. So first and foremost, thankful to God every single morning, no matter what, right? But beyond that, no, because it's just, hey, it's Friday. You know, Fridays I normally wind down a little bit. I'll work like a half, 3/4 full day. You know, I'll have some appointments. But today I got 8, maybe I have 10 appointments in my book scheduled for today. I wanted to keep it nice and light. I'm taking off around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and just normally I'm coaching, but today I'm just being with the family. So I still have appointments, but I started dialing at 8:15. I was done at 9:30. I was just like, all right, who wants to go get breakfast? You know, so small things like that to when normally I'd be like, all right, guys, or not even all right, guys, all right, Luis, like, bro, you only have 10 appointments. You have at least 5 more. It doesn't matter if it takes you the next hour and a half to book those 5 up. So I was happy with my 8 to 10 that I have for the day. I was like, cool, let's just go enjoy the day. And I got to enjoy it. You know, had breakfast with my family. It was
I
cool.
think that's a form of celebrating. I like that. It's just that, and I was talking to Todd about this recently. Shout out to Todd. He's been doing great. Got his first fast start bonus today, which is so exciting.
Fast start bonus. Let's talk about that next.
Yeah, but I think that if you are only focusing on the things that you're not doing well and just kind of doing what you're saying, like, well, it's just another day tomorrow and, you know, we just got to start at zero again, I think you're going to burn out. And I think it's very easy to start lacking fulfillment, right? Whereas taking time, and my wife, Megan, she really is big on this of being like, you know, celebrate yourself. Like you gotta, she's literally dancing right now. You need to take time.
Camera. Put Megan, get on camera.
she's we got some house stuff going on here. But no, she's big on making sure that I celebrate myself. And I didn't really know what that looked like. I felt like a lot of like, what am I supposed to do to, like, what do I do to, what does that even look like? But I think just taking time to acknowledge, like, I did this, I achieved this. And like, it's not easy to do, you know, simple, not easy. Right. And so taking time to be like, you know, I did this. I sold 20 plus policies this week. I've helped 20 plus families. I've exceeded my goal for the week to hit my yearly goal. Like those are things that it's very easy to be like, oh, you know, whatever, tomorrow's a new day. It starts a new week. And I start at zero. But before I do that, because that's inherently where my mind goes, taking time to really celebrate yourself for your accomplishments, I think, is where the fulfillment and the enjoyment from this industry really comes. So I feel like you've done some of that today, but really take some time tonight if you could. If I could challenge you to do that, take some time tonight and really be like, damn, man, like I had a week here, man.
Yeah, no, you don't have to challenge me on that one, brother. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, right.
No, my wife does an amazing job at just putting events and things for the family to do. Like tomorrow, we're going to a small little resort. It's the Hard Rock. It's not small. It's amazing. It's actually the coolest Hard Rock that's been built. It's a guitar hotel that lights up and all that. So we're doing one night with friends and family there. And then it's back to the grind for me, though. I was just like, babe, I don't want to do that because we have a 7-day cruise coming up right after that with the kids for their spring break. So like, that's my celebration, you know, and that's where I'm going to go so hard. I'm going to go so hard all this next week so that I can just chill while I'm out there, you know, and just enjoy it, and not have to worry about policies.
Yeah, and you deserve that, man. You really do. And so, like you were saying, let's talk fast start bonuses here, because this is something pretty cool that Unitrust does that is really exciting for new agents coming in. Do you want to break it down?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up really quick, and if it takes me an extra second. Can you just maybe talk about it a little bit while I'm
Yeah.
bringing it up so I have it in front of me?
Basically, we have what's called the fast start period, which is your first 90 days, right? So your first 90 days, once you get your good to go, which is once you have your carrier contract submitted, you get your good to go. And from that point moving forward for the next 90 days, there's different achievements that you can hit based off growing your team, based off your premium sold, that allow you to earn up to an additional $15,000 in bonuses in your first 90 days, right? That is insane. You can earn up to 15 grand in your first 90 days. So it's like, Luis, you'll pull this up in a second, but it's something like for every $5,000 of annual premium that is issue paid, you're going to receive like $500 for the first one, $1,000 for the second, $1,500 for the third. You build a team and hit what's called spark up, where you need to have a certain amount of people on your team that are producing. You get $3,000. You're going to be receiving promotions on the promotion scale based off production. It's just an incredibly unique opportunity. There it is. That's perfect.
Boom. This is the first time we do that, guys. Give it up for Mike and Luis. Way to go.
Way to go. Right. Technology.
We're talking about that early.
Yeah, speak on it, man.
This is so cool, right? So you just nailed it. I mean, you said it exactly. It's a fast start bonus. First 90 days. When I came in, I really didn't understand it, and I let some of it go, although I hit every single one of them.
That's right.
I just unintentionally, happened. I was like, what is this little bonus coming in here? Why did I just get a $500 check? Why did I just get another $500 check? Why did I just get another $500 check? But I'm like, hey, I almost got spoiled. And like when they didn't come, I was like, where's my $500 check?
Wait a second.
But guys, it's super easy. Like literally in this business, to hit $15,000 for the month, it's not hard, right? It just takes a couple of things. It takes that full confidence, that full commitment in yourself. And this is something that I also wanted to bring up, and we're going to touch on a little bit more. But when it says confident and being ready, like now we have everything set in place to be able to have your confidence and your readiness up so that you can kind of just come in running, right? And like really gunning. So to do $15,000 in your first, you're talking about $3,000, $4,000 a week, right? 4 times 4 is 16. So
no, this is $15,000 in your first 90 days.
No, it's $15,000 per month. And the moment you hit $15,000 per month, you start getting so the moment you hit 5,000, you get your first bonus in month 1. You get 500.
Right. I'm sorry. It's 30-day periods. Yeah, you're right. For your first 3 months. Yep.
So it tells you right here, right? Let's look at that number 1. Number 1, days 1 to 30 of good to go. Days 31 to 60 of good to go. And then 31 or 61 to 90 of good to go. Good to go happens the moment the first contract comes in and you're able to write that one company, which is all you need, right? You can write that one company, you can start getting out there. So as long as you sell your first 5,000, you're getting your first bonus. Second 5,000, 10,000 total, you're getting another 500. So that's about $1,500 per month, right? That's $4,500 if you hit it all 3 months in just bonuses, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the compensation and what happens. But then here's the cool part. And here's the part that I didn't get right away and that I didn't see the opportunity that I missed. That 4,500 could have been nearly doubled with this additional 3,000 right here if you qualify for the Spark Up. Yep. For Spark Up, all you have to do is bring 2 people that write one piece of business. There's no actual amount of number, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Right? Just one piece of business, and then you're able to get that. And then beyond that, on top of that, like that aside, there is your monthly bonus that I can show you guys what that looks like. But it starts when you start hitting that 15,000 mark. As long as your placement and persistency are there, at 15,000, you get an additional $500. So technically, we can say that 1,700 or 7,500. If it's $9,000 between all of that, right? All you got to do is bring 2 people in and write $15,000 in your first 3 months, and there's an additional $9,000 to the pocket that you could have made for your first 90 days. Like that's pretty awesome.
And if you're doing the things that we were talking about earlier, right? Joining the team Zoom, listening in on the top producers, leaning on your mentors, using the resources, the trainings, the toolkit, the script that we all use, there is not a single person that can't do that. If you're willing to put in the work, you will make the money. That's what's so cool about this business. It's so crazy. Like, it is not rocket science. It is simply consistency and discipline.
No, this is the place to be. It's and so I have a little outside experience from previous companies, and the reason that I left where I was at, right? I left the company where I was, and the main reason wasn't just because of Mike and Chris, and friends of mine that are here, which I love being able to work with friends, but additionally, the leads is what I was chasing. I was looking for a good lead system that could be consistent, that I wouldn't have to worry about people maybe not answering the phones, which blows my mind how much contacts we're actually able to make here. Yeah. I was looking at my numbers for the week, guys, and then just to explain and show you, and I'm sure it could be better because it can always be better, but for the week, I said it that I bought 120 leads for the week. We, both Mike and I, are both on standing lead orders. I think we both do 30 now.
Correct. Yep.
Right. So 30. What does that mean? The A leads, which are the hot leads, right off the press. They called into it yesterday. You're receiving it today. You're already calling them. They're expecting your call. I'm getting 30 of those. Getting 30 A1s. Those are the ones that called in, but they were like, maybe this isn't for me, or they didn't know what it was, but they just hung up. So getting 30 of those. And then I'm getting 30 of second chance bonus leads. I'm getting 60 of those. So it's 120. Out of those 120, I booked by my appointment count over 40 something appointments, which gave me a 33% appointment set. And then out of the 33% of the 40 appointments, I wrote over 10 applications, which gives me more of a 25% closing ratio. The numbers always work. Imagine had I done the amount of appointments that this guy did. If I would have done the amount of appointments this guy did, my numbers would have been possibly similar, or maybe a little bit better, right?
100%. That's what people are always like. That's what I think people misunderstand. They think that I'm doing something special. I am not. I am simply doing more volume. That's it. Anyone who is running the same amount of appointments as me would probably be selling more than me. Like, I'm not doing anything unique. It's not like that. It's just more appointments. And so again, if you run more appointments, you will sell more policies, you will make more money. It's the law of large numbers.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it's cool going back, like doing it with that expectation. And then I'm like, well, let me see what it was like. This is what I bought. This is where I invested. This is what I made. And it falls right in line with the numbers that the company tells you that it's going to fall into. And like, that's a mind boggling. That's a super exciting thing to see that actually working out. Right. Go ahead. So we're expected a 5 to 7% return company wide. So literally means you invest $1,000, you should expect to make $5,000 to $7,000 for the year back on that money.
So yeah, and I think that it's oh man, I lost my train of thought as to what you were talking about. But yeah, I think the 5x that's what I was going to. The 5x to 7x is certainly very accurate. But I think where a lot of people struggle is like they come into this industry and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm comfortable doing straight commission. And it's like, I get that. Like, it's the perceived lack of stability can be intimidating, but you and I and everyone else here at Unitrust are a testament to how accurate the ratios are. So while it may not be guaranteed like a salary is, it is very predictable. So we can reverse engineer and say, if we want to make $100,000 this year, we know exactly what we need to be doing on a day-to-day basis to guarantee that will happen. It's the ratios. This can be so predictable.
We can be exactly. It takes two things. It takes one thing. Consistency and belief. Consistency and belief. Because if you don't believe in yourself, that's your number one battle, right? Yeah. And then if you do believe in yourself and you think you're the hottest ish out there, which is a good thing, then you better be consistent, right? Because if you can't, literally you're just going to be stepping yourself in your own foot and getting in your own way. That's the bottom line. So guys,
I'm sorry, there's a million people that come in and have all the talent in the world, but they don't work, right? And I actually was talking to an interview about this last night, and I've heard this quote, and I'm sure you've heard it before too, but hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yes.
Got to do
Yeah,
both, man.
man. You know, I honestly believe I'm blessed because God gave me not only this amazing looks, but a brain and a mouth to go along with them. I can talk. I can do it. It's just like I love being able to communicate with people. I
Yeah.
love being on camera. I love presenting. I love being able to impact or make an impact in somebody's life. And the moment that I hear it click, it's great. But at times I fall off on consistency, right? On what I want to do, and I allow certain other outside factors to get in. So that's when he says the talent doesn't meet the hard work. Guys, marry those two, right? Learn from my mistakes. Marry those two. If you're that person and somebody or everybody at some point in their life has had this feeling of I am meant to do more. My life is not meant to be controlled by a 9 to 5. I'm not meant to be limited on how much I can make and hope that the bonuses are going to come in this year because the company performed, right? Bet on yourself and you give yourself that opportunity. So now it's going to take a financial investment. Not only you have to get licensed, you have to pass the test, you have to go out there, you have to put money in for leads. But if you do all that, how can you not give yourself the best chance to truly be ready, be confident, and be consistent? Think about everything you just went through. The opportunity is here. Life insurance is the best field you could have ever found. Now give yourself that chance to win. Set your schedule. You've heard of non-negotiables. Mike, what are your non-negotiables from the get-go? I bet you they come up like that.
My non-negotiables are simple, and it's rinse and repeat my schedule every single day. I don't care how I'm feeling. I don't care if I want to do it, if I don't want to do it, if I'm tired, if I didn't sleep well, if I'm high energy, if whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, I know what I'm doing from 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. And my non-negotiable is I'm doing the same stuff every day.
Yes.
What about for you? What are yours?
My Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I know no matter what, I'm working from 2 till 7:30, and then probably go a little bit. I'll probably be on here till 8, right? Like that's the schedule that's been working for me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have those days packed out. No matter what, there's gonna be at least 15 appointments for those 3 days. That's 45 appointments in 3 days, right? My Wednesdays and Fridays are a little bit lighter just because I do coach, and I think that's part of my relief of what I enjoy being able to do for my family, for my kids. I want them to grow up with that. Hey, dad was the coach. But anyways, So that's the only reason why. But I'll still do at least 10 appointments. So that should be 65 appointments per week, right? Dude, that's it. Bottom line is I want to have more than 50 appointments in 1 week. If I get my 65 and I close after sitting ratio and all that. But if I close anywhere around 20% of that, that's going to be like 12 closes. 12 closes is going to lead to the 15K. That's my target, right? So no matter what, I know I'm going to buy leads just because if I don't buy leads, I'm going to be struggling to find business.
Yep.
We talk about lead strategy, but I don't think we've talked about lead strategy enough here. It just comes down to consistency, right? Agents are going to work their way up from leads, D's, C's, B's, double A's, A's, and get to that. What you're doing every time you start stepping up is you're lifting another rep. You're building your muscles. You're getting stronger with it. And yeah, D's might be like, it might not be the easiest, right, Mike? Like there's some people might get more discouraged than encouraged. But I think as long as you find your focus and you find your understanding, and this is going to come down to your mentors, and this is why if you can align with Mike or myself, we're going to get that mindset right, baby, right? But dial those D's, and don't dial those D's with expectations of making sales right away. You're going to dial those D's with expectations that your presentation or your appointment scheduling, it's going to be so on point by the time you're done with those 100 calls that now you can move to the C's. Right? Your expectation on disease might not be making the first sale. Ideally, that'd be awesome. That's a bonus. But now you want to go ahead and get some people to actually let you have these presentations. You want to chase those no's. You want to get all the marbles out of your mouth. You want to get those things that are going to help you build the confidence. but don't get bottled down if you don't make a sale in the first couple of weeks. Ideally, you will. Is it guaranteed? Nothing's guaranteed. This is your practice, and get up to it. And little by little, you're going to start seeing more and more traction. Don't focus on the day. Don't focus on the week. Let's look at this big picture and track it month over month to see the trajectory of improvement, man. But that's what I feel.
I also think, though, that it's important to kind of mitigate and manage expectations of what wins look like when you first start, right? Because you buy that first 100 batch of D leads. If you're going and you're like, all right, I got 100 D leads here, man. I'm going to make 5 sales out of this or 10 sales out of this. And it's like, you just started, man. Like that would be great if that happens. It absolutely can happen, but I don't think that should be what our expectation is, right? For me, when I bring on new partners to work with me, my first goal for them on day one is let's set one appointment. Okay. You set an appointment today. That's a win. You had a good day. We accomplished our goal. The next day, let's set 3 appointments. The next day, let's run a presentation. The next day, let's get into an e-app. The next day, let's sell a policy. So you're talking about 5, 6, 7 days out of like when you first really get rolling of like, these are good days. You don't have to sell a policy for it to be a great day when you're first starting. It can be setting 3 appointments when your goal was 1. It could be getting all the way into the e-app when your goal was just to have a sit, right? There are different ways that you can have wins. And I think understanding and managing those expectations, we want to look at it on a month-to-month scale, right, in terms of production. But in terms of mindset and managing wins, we can do that at a granular level and still feel great about what we're achieving when we're brand new. Because there are things to celebrate.
100%. Every time, right? All those things. I'm an emotional roller coaster rider. You guys already know that about me, right? I'm telling you, I got my fast pass for this bad boy. I want to go. I want to go on that ride, but that's okay because I know it. I know exactly what it's going to look like, and I know exactly how I'm going to fix it. And I know exactly that if I had this down week, but I keep my consistency and my activity, I'm going to have a high week. It's just numbers to me. At the end of the day, I live through emotion. That's what carries me. That's what makes me me, and I love me. All right, but you have to eventually know, like, hey, don't get high on the highs, don't get low on the lows, stay that even keel because it's all going to work its way out. And that's literally the best way you could possibly be in this. But at the same time, we had this guy, and I want to get him for our team training if I can. He's part of Landau's team, and he came in his first week. I checked yesterday. I haven't checked today if he's done any better, but he had, I think, 7 or 6 applications for like around $8,000. He got licensed in 1 week. He got trained up, and on his first week already sold around $8,000. Right. What? 0 insurance experience. But what will it take? If you want to be that person, you can. That's not going to be everybody, but there are going to be those few out there that can do that, right? I would tell you, hey, you know what? You can do that. You know what? Be on the Zoom calls because it's open for you because you're part of the team and you're about to take your test, and set your schedule like, hey, this is what I'm going for. I'm going to do 4-hour block in the morning, 4-hour block in the afternoon to get through all these chapters. The moment I get through the chapters, I'm going to take the practice exam like 13 times till I can pass it. You can have that thing passed in like 7 days, right? Completely just done and over with. But during that time, get onto these Zoom calls, watch Mike pitch, watch me, watch Mike, watch Miranda, watch Ken, watch every single one their way and take notes. And as they're doing the appointment, you're like mimicking exactly what they're saying. So that moment you buy that first lead, you already know exactly what's going to come out of your mouth and the outcome of where you want it to drive. And that's how you're going to expedite this business and give yourself the biggest chance of having fast success and bringing in that fast streak, big streak, the spark.
Yeah. And I personally, and I know who you're talking about when he came on our team training. Dude is impressive, man. He's phenomenal. Like really, really a big fan. And not to take away anything that he's been able to achieve because he is super impressive, but I think anyone can do it. I really do. Like, I think that when I'm talking to new agents, I think that there's 3 things that we need to be focusing on when we're coming into the business. Right now, it's a lot of information coming at you, right? You're learning a whole new industry with different language and idiosyncrasies and like all these different things about how to be successful. And it can be overwhelming. So I'm like, look, let's scale this down a little bit. When you're first starting, there's 3 things to focus on, in my opinion, to have immediate success. Know the scripts, both appointment setting and presentation, right? Which you can do through shadowing or actually reading them, which you should do both, right? So know the scripts, know how to navigate the toolkit, and know how to get through an e-app. If you can do those three things, the rest of the stuff will inevitably, at some point, you'll get it. It'll fall into place. But those, in my opinion, if you can master those three things off the bat, you can have your first week be $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. Like there's no reason you can't if you have the work ethic to back it up.
Yeah, exactly. Get ready to dive in. You know, like, where are you going to go to work and expect to make big time money and know that that person is not busting their ass? Think about doctors. Doctors, you know, if they have their own practice, normally they're waking up before the crack of dawn and going to the hospital and rounding with their patients and seeing them and making sure they're good. Then they're leaving the hospital, going to their own practice. And the way medical businesses now, like, they have 5 minutes per patient. They have to go, right? And they're all like, well, man, I wish I could make those $400,000 or $500,000 that the doctors make. Hey, you can. And you didn't have to go through that 12 years of schooling here.
Right.
Right?
Go into debt for the rest of your life.
And go in debt for the rest of your life. Exactly. Here, you get that mindset, you get that approach, and you dive in harder for, call it 3 months, right? Like, literally make it a sacrifice and say, hey, team no sleep is going to be now team no sleep for studying, for learning, and for applying and implementing what's going to make you successful here. You do those 3 months, the rest of your life is going to be different.
100%, man. That's why it's the 90-day fast start bonus, because those first 3 months, that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where you need to be committed to do the activity, to learn the things you need to learn. And if you can dedicate yourself for 3 months, you will set yourself up for the rest of your life. It's such a unique industry, man. It's so crazy. I literally, Chris got me into this business, as a lot of you already know. I text Chris probably once a week, and I'm like, hey, man, thank you so much for getting me into this business. I'm so grateful I literally sent him a text this morning. And I'm like, I know I say it to you a lot, but I'm just so grateful, because it's a life changer. It's a family changer.
Yeah. And for some people, you know what? Some people are going to be okay making their 40, 50, 60,000 a year.
Of course.
You can do that working 2 days a week here. You know, like, you still have to be good to do that. Some people are going to want to apply that nonchalant type of work ethic that you have working for somebody else and bring that here, and you're going to have nonchalant results, right?
Yeah.
But the reality here is that if you're making 50, 60, 80 for the year, you might not last. Like, this might not be for you, because it does take a certain amount of mental acuity and discipline to consistently do this for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's like, it's truly a game changer. Like, it's fun if you let it be fun, right? It's fun. It's profitable if you let it be profitable. So, like, if you truly take that and now just adjust your mindset a little bit and change your game a bit, being that $50,000, $60,000 a year and multiplying it times 2 or 3, it's not going to be hard. But man, how much different would that be for your family if you take your income 1 year from 60 to 120 net the next year?
Right. Well, I think it also comes back to, like, when you're talking about, the mindset, I think it comes back to, like, the concept of have to versus get to. Right. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I have to make these calls and I have to make these sales and I have to protect these families. Like, you're going to burn out quick, right? Because it's monotonous and it can be exhausting and draining, and there's a lot of rejection, and, like, you can beat yourself up and fizzle out quick. Versus you wake up and you're like, I get to make these calls. I get to provide for my family. I get to protect these other families. I get to make this money. Like, you're going to last a lot longer, and your overall fulfillment and just connection in life, I think, is just going to be so much different.
It's so true. It's that get to, right? Like, I get to do this to provide for my family. I don't have a boss. I don't have anyone to answer to but to myself. You know, I get to help agents on a daily basis and develop relationships through that. You know what's really cool, man? In the last couple of weeks, both Mike and I think somebody just reached out to him the other day because of his email. That's right there, right? Use those emails, guys. They're there for a reason. Like, we want to talk to you guys. If you guys want to come over, this is not the sole reason of why we do this, but we mean what we say. We want to help you guys
100%.
get into that path. So he had somebody reach out yesterday saying, hey, man, I'm loving watching you guys, this podcast, and, like, I'd love to come be part of the team. I've had some people just already in the company just message and say, like, hey, I love how you and Mike go about it. I love watching how much fun you guys are having during the episodes, but it's helped me with this. It's helped me with this. It's helped me with this. And it's just, we're doing this for everyone to be able to watch and be able to like gain something from. And what we're gaining back is when you guys send us those messages,
Right.
when you guys comment below and like leave us a little bit of love. So thank you for that, guys. It's
Absolutely.
truly, yeah, it's episode number 9, but it feels like we're just really getting started. Like there's
I
so
know,
much more
right?
to come. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's where fulfillment comes in, right? Is when we get these messages of people like, hey, this really helped me, or I enjoyed listening to you guys speak, or like I sent this to some, my wife and I were listening. I think you sent me a message that once someone messaged you and was like, me and my wife were listening to this in the car, and we just love hearing you guys talk about this kind of stuff. And it's been so beneficial for my business. Like that to me is where the fulfillment comes in. Like there's a lot of other things you and I could both be doing with this hour. You know what I mean? But the ability to, I mean, hanging out with you, first of all, is just like, it just puts a smile on my face. I love it. It gives me energy for the whole day. But the ability to help kind of contribute to other people's success, like that's what we're here for, right? That's part of our culture. Culture conquers all, man. It all ties back together. We do this because we want to help other people, because other people have helped us, and it's only right to pay it forward.
Yeah, it really is. I would not dream of being in any other business, you know? And like my wife, when she sees me stressed out, she's like, are you sure? She's like, babe, this is what I do. Like I do it every 2-3 months, the same thing. Like, come on, let's go.
We may have had a conversation about that like last week, you and I.
Yeah. You know, it's okay. It's just part of it. But it's what I love doing, is what I know that I'm great at, and where I can bring that much more value for everyone that's out there. So super, super stoked to see what's coming up, guys. Culture conquers all. If you're thinking, if you're on the fence, jump in. You got two studs here with Mike and myself, just looking to be able to grow and to help and to, you know, bring and pass on. So whatever we can do to help you guys, come and join us. So what is it with us? We got the leads, unlike no others, the team that you'd be joining, the company itself, the bonuses. What else do you need? Right?
All you need is a little bit of motivation to take some action.
That's the big one right there. Action. You got to take that action. You got to take that first step. You got to believe in yourself. Like, we're not making this podcast for fun. You know, we're not those digital creators saying, hey, I made this much. Like, we really did. It's true. Like, we're just talking. And I don't think you can get two people that could just be more transparent with what they do. You know, I'm like, hey, guys, I had a shitty day yesterday, but it's okay. It's going to be good tomorrow. And I wear it on my sleeve. It's cool. I don't know, man. I think we should have like a challenge. Like if we both hit like 200,000 combined income, like we get a MP Bros tattoo or something.
I'm down, man. I'm not scared of tattoos, man. You tell me where. I'm in. I think it would be great. But as always, man, this is just fantastic. I love these conversations. I hope that you guys are all continuing to get stuff out of this. And I personally haven't received anything like this. I don't know if you have, Luis, but if there's topics you want us to talk about, things you want us to share, how we're doing something, you know, whatever it might be around like this business or anything related to topics that is like, hey, this is something I think would be cool to hear you guys talk about. Tell us, and I guarantee you we will do it. We're always looking for topics, and especially want to share stuff that is going to be relevant to you guys as listeners and subscribers, right? If there's something you want to hear about, message us. You got emails right here. Use them. Reach out, man. We would love, love, love to be able to make sure that you guys are getting out of this what you want to get out of this, not just what we feel like talking about every week.
Yes, sir. Love it, Mikey. Another good one. With that being said, guys, like, subscribe, comment, share. It means so much to see a little bit of love. Mike, you want to leave off with anything here?
It's all good, man. Let's kill it. This finish out the Friday strong. Let's have a good weekend.
See you all at the next one. Peace out.